go, we are back after the winter break. We are back here at Monday Night Raw, and it is time to show you what Monday Night Raw is all about here in 2023. That's right, we start 2023 with an absolute blockbuster of a match, the culmination of this rivalry. Dexter Lumis versus Logan Paul. Dexter Lumis has been terrorizing Logan Paul since he's gone onto the Raw roster, but Logan finally wants to take down Dexter Lumis, and from the top of management themselves, they've realized that in this year's Royal Rumble match there isn't enough spots for absolutely everybody on the roster. So what they have done is they've made this match a qualifying match for the Royal Rumble. The loser will not be in the Royal Rumble matchup. I'm not sure if that is necessarily what these two men are thinking at the forefront of their brain, but it's a lovely little cherry on top for the winner of this matchup. And here we are finally here at the debut of Logan Paul. Here he comes in his ring attire, with his lovely little card, his WWE card, around his neck. It's going to be interesting. He's getting booed out of the building here, but it seems like pantomime boos, let's be honest, here for Logan Paul. Because he has impressed in the ring in the past, he has impressed. But can he impress here with me in charge in our universe mode and defeat Dexter Lumis, the creepy, unorthodox Dexter Lumis? Or will Dexter be finding his way into the Royal Rumble matchup? Let's see, shall we? And here we go, our first match of 2023, and Dexter is already taking it to Logan Paul. Logan Paul not looking in the best of ways right now, as Dexter is already going to the top rope. Here he comes, Dexter. Oh, he's actually asking Logan Paul to get up. What has he got in store for him? A double axe handle there to the top of Logan Paul's head, and Logan Paul hasn't managed to get any offense in, but he's trying to get some breathing room by chucking Dexter to the outside of the ring, and he's going to try and plant him with a backbreaker on the hardest part of the ring, and he does. And now it's Dexter in a bad way here. It was great by Logan Paul there to create a little bit of distance and then immediately pouncing on it. And the referee has started his count though, so they will have to get into the ring before the count of 10, otherwise it will end in a double count out and neither will end up in the Royal Rumble matchup. But I can be assured that both of these men will want to get a victory today in this matchup. And Logan Paul is looking mightily impressive here with some lovely strikes, some that he's probably picked up from his time in the boxing ring, and he's absolutely planted Dexter there. This is efficient by Logan Paul. Logan Paul's debut in this universe mode, and he is impressing to say the least. Dexter though taking his time to get into the middle of the ring, and that's a wonderful drop kick, a springboard drop kick to the outside of the ring. No one saw that one coming, and absolutely nobody saw that one coming. Logan Paul pouncing on Dexter Lumis when he didn't even have to. The crowd are booing him. Yet again though, it seems like there's a lot more support for Dexter Lumis than expected, but I can assure you now, if he manages to win this matchup, the crowd will suddenly start believing in this Logan Paul regime in WWE. You know, you've got to believe he's got youth on his side as Logan Paul. Yes, Dexter Lumis has a lot of experience in the ring over on the indies and in WWE itself, but Logan Paul does have youth on his side, and he has competed in multiple other sports, so you can imagine that he's going to be the one moving around a lot quicker than Dexter Lumis. But could Logan Paul be taking up the count-out victory here? No, Logan Paul wants to win the proper way against Dexter Lumis. He wants to punish Dexter, and he's absolutely punched him in the face, and Dexter again is in trouble. Dexter's barely been able to get any offense in this matchup. He started off the matchup very, very well, but Logan Paul using the environment to his arsenal, and And Dexter's got to get out of there. Dexter's got to create some breathing room and some time to not have to deal with this, not have to deal with Logan Paul's striking ability that he's clearly displaying here as he is chucked into the barricade. The referee's count is yet again to a very, very high number. Logan Paul's got to be paying attention to that, but this time he doesn't seem to be paying attention to it. And Logan Paul again is just loads of punches to the midsection of Dexter Lumis. And the referee's count is up to the count of 9. What is going on? It's going to go to 10. It's going to go to 10. Oh my God, Logan Paul! Logan Paul has absolutely stole it here. Logan Paul with the count-out victory on Dexter Lumis, using the environment to his arsenal, just chucking Dexter Lumis around the outside of the ring, and was waiting for the prime opportunity, was waiting until the referee's count of 10, and Logan Paul qualifies for the Royal Rumble match via count-out. I can't imagine this is the last we would have seen of Dexter Lumis and Logan Paul, because that wasn't the most convincing of victories, to say the least. But a victory is a victory, and Logan Paul will be in the Royal Rumble match. Oh, after that weird victory by Logan Paul, but it is a victory nonetheless in his debut. We are here at a tag team match, and first coming out is the Banished, Buddy Murphy and Mustafa Ali, two who have never really teamed before. They have been on opposite ends of the ring, but they have never really come together, and they finally decided to come together against management, actually, because they feel like they were forgotten. They were the banished by the management in WWE. But today they've got an opportunity to face the Usos at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. The winner of this matchup will be facing the Usos at that pay-per-view, and their opponents are the unlucky Legado Del Fantasma. That is right, Raul Mendoza and Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin Wilde, who was actually quite close to winning the Battle Royal not long ago to get into the Money in the Bank ladder match, which Cedric Alexander ended up winning. But these two have the potential to cause the Usos, not only the Banished, but the Usos, a problem. I think these are two very credible tag teams indeed. Either of them could end up going forwards to the Royal Rumble, but who will it be? And here we go, the Banished versus Legado Del Fantasma. Mustafa Ali and Murphy's debut as a tag team in this universe mode. It'd be interesting to see how these two do. They were drafted as a tag team, two individuals that were who wanted to be together, who felt like they needed to be together to find some achievements in WWE, because they've been well away from any achievements. But Mustafa Ali making a very good first impression early on in this matchup, taking it to Raul Mendoza as he looks to be diving to the outside of the ring. Is he actually going to dive to the outside of the ring? He does, and he hits Joaquin Wilde. Joaquin Wilde was just watching, aimlessly watching, knowing he can't really get involved, and he gets hit with a monstrous dropkick by Mustafa Ali, and now Mustafa Ali is taking it to his tag team partner in Raul Mendoza, but he has given Raul Mendoza enough time to recover there and hit him with a lovely DDT. We haven't yet to see Murphy in this matchup. We've seen Joaquin Wilde already take a couple of bumps early on in this matchup, but I'm rest assured we will see Murphy at some point, as Raul Mendoza does make it back into the ring. And a lovely little flip there. Very confident are Legado Del Fantasma, but they are yet to find some achievements, really. They have failed at every opportunity they've gotten, but this is another one here, as that is only a 1 count. It's too early there to take down Mustafa Ali. Now, during this matchup, I did want to shed light on what's going on with Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods has posted on Twitter and has basically apologised to the fans for his actions last week in his matchup with Sami Zayn. He said that it was just not what he's used to. He hasn't felt that type of anger towards somebody for a very long time. So he has taken some time away, some time to be with his family, because he said he's not feeling himself, and he's said that the New Day haven't really seen him either. So it'd be nice to see Xavier Woods hopefully back on our screens very soon and back to himself, as Buddy Murphy is finally in this matchup and taking it to Joaquin Wilde. The two more fresh members of their teams, because Mustafa Ali did take a bit of a beating while I was talking about Xavier Woods' tweet there and situation, as Raul Mendoza has been chucked over the top rope with absolute ease there. And not Mustafa Ali, sorry, Murphy is going to try and assert some dominance. Remember, Murphy, a former Cruiserweight champion and a dominant Cruiserweight champion at that. We saw a side to Buddy Murphy that we had never seen before, and no one could really compete with him. He was somebody at the absolute top of his game, and we've seen sheds of what Buddy Murphy can do. That match against Roman Reigns comes to everybody's mind when thinking about Buddy Murphy being at his best in WWE. And Raul Mendoza, the arrogant Raul Mendoza, asking for it again, and he gets away with it, and he chucks Buddy Murphy over that top rope. A little bit of payback there to Buddy Murphy. And he's taking it to him very early on. And on the outside of the ring, Raul Mendoza seems to like using the outside of the ring to his arsenal to be able to just take apart his opponent limb by limb before chucking it back into the ring. And hopefully, from his part anyway, able to beat them. But Buddy Murphy is going to prove to be a very tough opponent for reasons that we have already alluded to. And you're seeing the arrogance yet again by Raul Mendoza. And Murphy gets back into the ring, but Raul Mendoza gets the better of the early exchanges again. It has been Raul Mendoza, really, who has been dominating for Legado Del Fantasma. Any of the really good, strong momentum has come when Raul Mendoza has been in the ring. You know, no offense to Joaquin Wilde, but Raul Mendoza seems to be on a whole load of different form so far in this matchup, but he has been busted open there by Buddy Murphy, who is now going to the top rope to fly, and it's a lovely splash there by Murphy on Raul Mendoza. And could the tide suddenly be turning against Mendoza? And could we be seeing some tag team action here by Murphy and Mustafa Ali? I don't think we were. I thought we were going to see it for a second, but we're not quite. And look at the face. Look at that face on Raul Mendoza. Raul Mendoza won't be able to see out of his right eye. I don't think he can see out of his right eye. It was just blood pouring from it. And if he's not careful, he won't be able to see, and he won't be able to deal the damage that he's been able to deal the rest of this matchup. He's going to go for the tag, and I think he's going to try and clear some blood out of his eye, or not. I think he's just trying to catch Murphy off guard with some offense, and now has gone for the tag, and you'll probably be able to see him on the side of your screen wiping his eye, trying to get the blood directly out of his eye, so he's ready for when Joaquin Wilde needs that little bit of help in a second. He will be able to give it, as Murphy there with a lovely knee. And Joaquin Wilde was shaking there vigorously on the floor. Murphy has managed to turn the tide yet again. He's going for the pin. 1, 2, and it's a kick out. I thought it was going to be 3, but it is a kick out by Joaquin Wilde. And I almost feel like Wilde needs to tag very, very soon. Here we go, and Murphy takes him down. Murphy for the pinfall. Raul Mendoza is going to need his help, and he does get his help. He breaks up the count at the count of 2, but Raul Mendoza has been chucked out the ring yet again, and Wilde is in trouble. If Murphy can string some offense together, he might be able to take down Wilde while Mendoza is on the outside of this ring. That was a lovely innovative offense there by Murphy, and he might be going for the tag, finally going for the tag, but instead Wilde manages to avoid it and manages to create some breathing room there Is he going to be able to take down Murphy? And he does. He plants Murphy directly on his head. That could have knocked Murphy out. Murphy looks out cold. Wilde is going for the pin. It's a 1. It's a 2. But it's not quite 3. Murphy does manage to kick out. But Wilde has managed to turn things back in the favour of Legado Del Fantasma for what feels like the first time in a very long time. As I thought we might be able to see a tag there, but it was just a wonderful chop to Buddy Murphy's chest. And a lovely little move there by Wilde. And Wilde's confidence is slowly coming back in this matchup. But if Murphy can get the tag, if Murphy can manage to get that tag to Mustafa Ali, a fresh Mustafa Ali, it might be able to turn this matchup on its head, as Wilde is asking Buddy Murphy to his feet, and Mustafa Ali, the fresh Mustafa Ali, manages to create some breathing room for Buddy Murphy. Can Buddy take advantage? He might just be able to. He kicks Wilde while he's on the floor and brings Mustafa back into this matchup. And Mustafa, for the love of God, Mustafa is taking it now to Wilde. And there we go. He brings Wilde to the floor. And it's down for the count. 1, 2, and Mendoza yet again, breaks up that count. God, this is a very, very close matchup. I really cannot call it. One of these two teams will be going to the Royal Rumble to face off against the Usos. But just quite who will that be? No one knows the answer to that question, as Wilde throws Ali into the ropes but doesn't manage to take advantage. But he might just be able to here, as Ali does manage to reverse it. This is absolutely brilliant by both teams. There is no quitting either of them. And you can definitely not say that Ali and Murphy aren't a good tag team together. They seem to be working very well as a tandem. It's brilliant to see. And we're going for the count here. 1, 2, and it's a kick out by Mustafa Ali. It was brilliant by Raul Mendoza, and brilliant by Mustafa Ali, as there's a springboard DDT to Raul Mendoza right to the top of his head. Remember, Raul Mendoza is bleeding so much blood. Look at his face, he's bleeding so much, and they manages to get the tag. Raul Mendoza with the tag to Joaquin Wilde. They take down Murphy. Murphy is down. Mustafa Ali gets into the ring. The referee absolutely mucking up there and managing to create some space really for Mustafa Ali and some time for Mustafa Ali to get into the ring and to stop that count. But Murphy might not be in a good way. Ali is now to the outside of the ring. But what have Wilde and Mendoza got that they haven't already chucked at these two individuals? Mustafa Ali and Murphy have managed to stay in this matchup, managed to take it to him a hell of a lot. There's a blue thunder bomb there to Joaquin Wilde, and he manages to get the hot tag to Raul Mendoza. Can Raul Mendoza get some revenge on Murphy, the man who busted him open earlier in this matchup? Is a lovely drop kick there, but it goes for the showboat, and that might just be enough time for Murphy to get the hot tag, and he does get the hot tag. This time to Mustafa Ali. Mustafa Ali, what can he do? Can Mustafa finally have his moment in a WWE ring? Can he finally have a moment that people will remember? And can he get himself into a title match at the Royal Rumble? And Raul Mendoza stops him in his tracks. But Mustafa Ali again managing to take to flip things on its head. He takes down Mendoza. He puts Mendoza in the submission hold. You can see the blood right there gushing from the head of Raul Mendoza, and Raul Mendoza taps. He taps to Mustafa Ali, and the Banished are going to the Royal Rumble to face off against the Usos. What a matchup there by these two teams. Legado Del Fantasma yet again falling short, but you cannot take away from what the Banished did today. They showed so much heart, so much grit, so much determination in this matchup. You could feel like they needed it. In their hearts, they needed it. And they survived everything Legado Del Fantasma chucked at them. And Mustafa Ali and Buddy Murphy will be heading to the Royal Rumble to face off against the Usos for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Can they both finally get some main roster gold around their waist? We'll have to wait and see for the Royal Rumble.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Universal Championship.
Oh my God, it is Roman freaking Reigns. Keith Lee, you are going to have your hands full, buddy, because it's Roman Reigns facing you in the Open Challenge. Holy hell, Roman Reigns not wasting any time here, not waiting for Keith Lee. He wanted to be out first, he wanted to make the statement, and he's come out with the advocate, Paul Heyman. Now, if you're confused as to why we've got a championship match for the Universal Championship, it is because during Survivor Series, Keith Lee was the only champion to lose their champion versus champion match, and because of that, he needed to put his title out on the line before the pay-per-view, which meant you had to issue an open challenge. And who has answered the open challenge but Keith Lee's kryptonite himself, Roman frickin' Reigns. The tribal chief, the spirit animal himself, the daddy, Roman Reigns, is here to lay waste to Keith Lee. And here we go. Here is Raw's Universal Champion, the man who beat Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins in that triple threat match. A harken back to a Survivor Series in the past. And he won it. He won the Universal title by pinning Seth Rollins, but he didn't manage to beat Roman Reigns. He's never managed to beat Roman Reigns. Every time Roman Reigns has either gotten away with it or has beaten Keith Lee. So, are we going to see what we have seen multiple times before and have Roman Reigns on top of WWE and Monday Night Raw once again? Or will Keith Lee prove what you should bask in his glory and defeat the tribal chief? Let's see, shall we? Oh, bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory. You can hear the fans singing.
Introducing the challenger from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, Roman Reigns.
This has a big fight feel to it. You can feel the tension in the crowd.
Introducing the champion from Wichita Falls, Texas, weighing in at 320 pounds. He is the WWE Universal Champion, Keith Lee.
The crowd go mental for Keith. Oh, bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory. Oh, bask in his glory. And here we go. Roman Reigns versus Keith Lee. The matchup we've all wanted, really, since that triple threat match. We just felt like these two had unfinished business, and they're finally going to take care of business in this matchup, as Roman Reigns, he's failed every time he's had a match so far. He's lost every match he has been in. Remember last week, he was in that six-pack challenge to get the number 30 spot in the Royal Rumble, but this is Roman Reigns' wheelhouse. One-on-one, two men in the ring. Who is the better man? Roman Reigns would always bet on himself to be the better man in a one-on-one situation where he hasn't got to have eyes in the back of his head. And he's proven it here already against Keith Lee. He is pretty much decimating Keith Lee right now. And this is reminding me very much of what happened in that Drew McIntyre match between Drew and Keith at the Survivor Series pay-per-view. But with the support of the crowd on his side, surely Keith can use it and build some momentum and take down the mighty Roman Reigns and prove why he is Universal Champion. As Roman immediately getting back onto the front foot here and boasting to the crowd. You can see Paul Heyman there just almost shrugging his shoulders, just messing with his jacket. There is no question in the Bloodline's mind this evening that Roman Reigns is winning this matchup. Although, the one question you could have is, if that was the case, why is Paul Heyman out there? Why does Paul Heyman think that he is needed out at ringside if Roman Reigns truly does have it, as Keith Lee does manage to take down Roman Reigns? And can he get momentum back again? He picks up Roman, he's got Roman on top of his shoulders, straight into the ropes, and here we go. Keith is building some momentum yet again in this matchup. Come on, Keith. Come on, Keith. You've got this. I believe. We all believe. Everyone believes in Keith freaking Lee. Come on, Keith. He goes past Roman and takes Roman down. The pounce on Roman Reigns. Is that going to be enough? It's a 1, it's a 2, and it's a kick out by Roman Reigns there. And that is early warnings for Roman. It was a lovely pounce. Although, Big Bang Catastrophe on Roman Reigns this early on. Could it be over already? 2, and it's a kick out. Ah, for a second there, I thought Keith Lee had it. And for the first time, we are seeing Paul Heyman on the apron. Paul Heyman suddenly thinking, I need to get involved in this matchup. He can sense Roman Reigns is in trouble. And Keith Lee, the crowd are going mental for Keith. They are believing. Oh, it's lovely, but it's reversed. Roman gets the knees up. And it was lovely moonsault there by Keith Lee. There's a Superman punch to Keith Lee. 1, 2, and it's a kick out, and Paul Heyman there. Did you notice Paul Heyman putting the chair in the middle of the ring? He doesn't believe that Roman can do it, but Roman's setting it up. He's going for the spear. Roman Reigns, he hits the spear on Keith Lee. Keith Lee is in trouble. The crowd have gone silent. Keith's in trouble. No, Keith. 1, 2... and it's a kick out! Keith Lee! The dream lives on, the crowd are going wild! And Keith is in a world of hurt. But Keith Lee has belief. Keith Lee believes, the crowd believe, and Keith is getting back into this matchup. Come on, Keith. Oh, bask in his glory. Oh no, Roman Reigns! Roman's back, but no, it's reversed by Keith Lee. Everybody loves Keith. Everybody wants Keith to do this. It would be so harsh to see his world title reign stripped away so quickly. Roman again is going to get pounced, and he does get pounced. Roman Reigns is not used to being brutalized like this. He's not used to not being the one in control in the strength matchup. As there's another Big Bang Catastrophe. 1, 2, 3, Keith Lee beats Roman Reigns for the first time ever and cements himself as the true Universal Champion. And Roman Reigns' losing streak continues, but Keith Lee's winning streak, Keith Lee's passion for this business, Keith Lee's rise to the top of the world is finally here. Paul Heyman on the outside couldn't do anything about it. And Keith Lee is still your Universal Champion and will be heading into the Royal Rumble pay-per-view with that Universal Championship around his waist. Right, so that brings an end to this episode, and what an episode that was. Keith Lee retaining the title and maintaining his place on top of Monday Night Raw. But we still have one more week before we get to the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, where me and Straight Edge will come together once again. But you're probably thinking, what's in store for next week? Well, I can tell you what's in store for next week. We have a blockbuster tag team match where Shayna Baszler, Nikki Cross and Bayley will face off against Asuka, Kacy Catanzaro and Candice LeRae, just in a exhibition tag team match. But it can help them rise up the power rankings just that little bit, because we have had a lot of matches where you're only getting one winner out of all these multi-women matches. So it's time for them all to come together. And the first time you're seeing the likes of Bayley for a very long time. So it will be interesting to see whether they can improve on their previous matches. We also have an Intercontinental Championship match between Johnny Gargano and a mystery opponent. He will be holding an open challenge next week because of... He's holding that open challenge because he will not be defending his title at the pay-per-view. So he wants to defend it before the Royal Rumble match. So what he's going to do is he's going to defend it in an open challenge. And the main event for next week will be AJ Styles versus Big E versus Sami Zayn. The winner will face off against Keith Lee at the pay-per-view. At the Royal Rumble pay-per-view, we'll be seeing one of those three men face off against Keith Lee. That should be an incredible matchup. If you have enjoyed this, make sure to hit that like button. Do comment your thoughts down below to this week's matchups, and look forward to next week. Who is going to win the matches next week on Monday Night Raw? And remember to hit that like button consistently all the time to tell us that Monday Night Raw is the better show, and make sure to subscribe for more stuff like this, and I shall see all of you in the next video. See ya! I rushed the end of that because my camera was about to turn off. I don't know if you even noticed that.